Girl, you're not actually failing at weight loss. You're just following the wrong plan. Listen, your favorite celebrities and fitness influencers are not these magical unicorns who roll out of bed with a six-pack of abs and perfectly sculpted bodies while eating pizza in bed every night. Hey! I mean, maybe there are exceptions. They sneeze and they suddenly have abs. Tiana. But most of them have dedicated time, money, and effort into personal trainers, nutritionists, meal prep services, supplements, you name it. While the rest of us, we've been left to figure it out on our own. And let me tell you, I'm not rolling around with a celebrity trainer in my back pocket. I'm currently between blessings. My time will come. But realistically, that's just not something that I've got as a tool right now. What I do have though is years of trial and error, failed diets, skipped workouts, and what the heck am I doing moments that help me realize that weight loss isn't about perfection. It's about finally realizing what is keeping us stuck. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the 5 mistakes people make when they're first starting out on their weight loss journey so that you can avoid them and start your journey the right way. As always, the timestamps will be in the description. Mistake 1, not defining your goal clearly. So you need to know what your goal really is. Do you want to lose fat? Are you trying to look toned? Are you trying to build your glutes? Do you just want to feel healthier? These are the questions you need to ask yourself when you first start your journey, because honestly, each of these goals have a different approach. If you just say to yourself, oh, I want to lose weight, without figuring out the why or how you want to look and feel, you just end up feeling stuck because you're trying all these things without any real direction. Let me explain what I mean when I say figuring out what your goal is. So between my before photo and my after photo, I had to go through many different phases and I had many different goals within that time in order to get from A to B. If your goal is fat loss, focus on a calorie deficit and keeping your protein high. If your goal is to look toned, strength training is a non-negotiable, because to look toned, that means that you have more muscle and a lower body fat. If your goal is to grow your glutes, you might not even want to be in a calorie deficit. You might actually need to eat more and train really heavy. So this is why it's important to set your goals out right from the beginning so that you can take the correct steps right away. Mistake number 2, crash dieting and over-restricting. So a huge mistake that I find people make is thinking that less food equals faster results, but your body doesn't see it that way. What happens is calorie restriction leads to your body going into survival mode, and then it reduces the fat burning process in your body and then leads to intense craving. So you end up eating all those calories back that you're restricting yourself on because your body is wondering, where'd all the food go? So what's the fix to this? Stick to a smaller calorie deficit, anywhere between 200 to 500 calories below maintenance, because this is enough for you to be able to lose fat without losing muscle or energy. You should also prioritize protein and fiber because it helps keep you full, it preserves muscle, and keeps you satisfied for a longer period. Lastly, track progress the smart way. Instead of obsessing over the scale, notice how your clothes fit. Notice how your strength is changing in your workouts, your energy levels, how you feel on a day-to-day basis. These are better indicators of sustainable progress. Just remember that crash diets set you up for a cycle of frustration and regain. Instead, slow and steady. Trust the process. Mistake number 3, ignoring your protein. If you're serious about fat loss, muscle growth, or just looking toned, protein is a non-negotiable. Why does protein matter? First, because it preserves muscle during fat loss. Without enough protein, your body burns protein along with fat, and you just end up looking smaller, not leaner. Protein also makes you feel full. You get fewer cravings and it helps you stick to your deficit. Without protein in your diet, you're basically telling your body that it can burn whatever it wants, and usually that's muscle. Definitely not the direction you want to go if you want to look toned when you start losing weight. Mistake number 4, running instead of walking for fat loss. Okay, so this is a big one. People think that running is better than walking for fat loss. But honestly, all I see is that running is harder on the joints and, let's be real, makes you so much hungrier. If your goal is fat loss, whether it's belly fat, arm fat, face fat, why not do it in a way that is more sustainable and that you can do for a longer period of time? That's why walking is literally the best way to lose fat. So if your goal is fat loss, walking for that 10,000 minimum per day, the more you break it down throughout your day, the easier it is to reach. And before you know it, you're able to reach even 20,000 steps in a day. Even if you work a job where you're sitting all day, which I have worked jobs like that where it's really hard to be active and get those steps steps in. Every hour on the hour, walking around for 5 minutes around your desk, or going to the stairwell if you live in a building and going up and down the stairs. If people are allowed to take their smoke breaks, you can go outside for a little walk break. Once you start meeting that minimum step requirement, you will see changes in your body, and those changes won't just be weight loss on the scale. It's going to be fat loss. You're going to notice that you're getting leaner and not just slimmer. Mistake number 5. Thinking that life rewards intelligence or knowledge over action. What life really does is it rewards action, not intelligence, not what you know, not the knowledge that you have in your head. It rewards what you're actually doing. You have to throw yourself into things before you're ready. Because if you don't, you are going to over prepare yourself to death. You can spend all of these hours scrolling the internet, scrolling social media, and seeing everything that people are doing and trying to lose weight. That's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to do your research and collect information, but you need to apply it to your life, and you need to try these things out for yourself. And this is super important when it comes to starting your weight loss journey. This perfectionism that you think you have, what it really is procrastination. There will never come a day where you're like, yes, the stars are perfectly aligned. I'm ready to lose all the weight, restrict my diet completely, exercise 5 times a week, strength train, and just change my life. It doesn't happen overnight. But you know what you can do? You can pick one thing, one habit. Just start and then perfect it once you get somewhere with it. Once you start seeing these small changes, whether it's on the scale or it's just in the way your clothes fit or the way you feel, your energy levels. You don't need to go in with a strict diet, daily workouts, no sugar, and then burn out by week 2. That's not failure, that's a bad strategy. Add 1 or 2 habits at a time and then stack them. This is a lifestyle, baby, and we're in it for the long haul. Life rewards action. Life rewards you getting up every day and doing the things that you say you're gonna do. You know, as a Christian, I just believe that God is going to carry you through. He's gonna get you to that next step, and you just have to trust in yourself, trust in Him, and have faith that you are gonna be able to stick to it this time. And the reason for that is you're not gonna put this great big pressure on yourself to, you know, reach a certain goal by a certain day. What you're going to do is focus on the present. Here's some big sister advice. It's not gonna happen overnight, but if you quit, it's not gonna happen at all. So that's pretty much everything in terms of mistakes that people make when they're first starting on their journey. At the end of the day, the first and biggest and most important thing is knowing what you want to do, knowing what you want to look and feel like by the end of your journey, and then picking a strategy and sticking to it. And of course, hitting that protein. So if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Share with me some mistakes that you guys made when you first started your journey, or if you're starting now, the things that you feel are holding you back. And I'd love to give you some more tips for what I did in order to get to where I am today. It was quite the journey, and as you guys know from seeing any of my other videos, check them out if you haven't already. But yes, like, comment, and subscribe, and be sure to stick around for more videos, and I will see you next week. Bye.